Oh, say can you see? The answers to the questions this week. Salutations, trivia nerds. I'm your host, Brian Rollins, and this is the Dorky, Geeky, Nerdy Trivia Podcast. This week, the United States celebrates its 244th birthday. She's had better years, but we're going to dig into history that you may or may not have covered in school. As always, it's 30 questions broken up into 3 rounds. If you need rules, score sheets, or want to listen to more episodes, visit us at dorkygeekynerdy.com. Okay, they're lighting the fireworks, so strike up the band and let's get going. The Dorky Round. Number 1. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech was delivered in what year? (1963). Number 2. The forced relocation of 60,000 Native Americans in 1830 was known as what? The Trail of Tears. Number 3. Who was the first U.S. president to be impeached? Andrew Johnson. Number 4. Who is the only U.S. president born in Hawaii? Barack Obama. Number 5. Where was Custer's last stand? Little Bighorn, Montana. Number 6. What Native American language was used as a code during World War II? Navajo. Number 7. What was the last state added to the 48 contiguous United States? Arizona. Number 8. What Shoshone woman at the age of 16 helped guide the Lewis and Clark expedition in the early 1800s? Sacagawea. Number 9. On May 4th, 1970, the Ohio National Guard opened fire on unarmed protesters at what university? Kent State. Number 10. What current U.S. state was its own republic between 1836 and 1846? Texas. The Geeky Round. Number 1. What does the S in Harry S. Truman Nothing. He made up an initial because he had no middle name. Number 2. What state had the first woman governor? Wyoming. Number 3. What First Lady also held the position of U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations? Eleanor Roosevelt. Number 4. What businessman's autobiography is titled Up from Slavery? Booker T. Washington. Number 5. Speaking of Booker T. Washington, what scientist and inventor is buried next to him at Tuskegee University? George Washington Carver. Number 6. Who was the Democratic Party's nominee during the tumultuous 1968 presidential campaign? Vice President Hubert Humphrey. Number 7. The Sand Creek Massacre took place in what territory? The Colorado Territory. Number 8. What does NAFTA stand for? North American Free Trade Agreement. It was signed in 1994. Number 9. The U.S. Constitution was modeled after the Constitution of what group? The Iroquois Confederacy. Number 10. What is the oldest city in the United States? St. Augustine, Florida. It was founded in 1513. The Nerdy Round. Number 1. Known as Black Wall Street, what district in Tulsa, Oklahoma was bombed and destroyed in 1921? The Greenwood District. Number 2. Born Araminta Ross, who acted as a cook, nurse, armed scout, and spy for the Union Army during the Civil War. Harriet Tubman. Number 3. What was unusual about William Cathay, a Buffalo soldier in the 38th Infantry? William Cathay was actually Cathay Williams, a woman. Number 4. What U.S. president was so afraid of being electrocuted he wouldn't touch the light switches in the White House? Benjamin Harrison. Number 5. Born in Yuma, Arizona, what labor leader and activist co-founded the National Farm Workers Association? Cesar Chavez. Number 6. What state had the first African American governor? Louisiana. Number 7. In what year did that happen? 1872. Number 8. When did Congress ban the importation of slaves from Africa? (1808). Number 9. In 1917, the U.S. extended citizenship to people living in what territory? Puerto Rico. Number 10. Who was the first president to live in the White House? John Adams, though it was still under construction at the time. And we're done. If you didn't get them all right, I hope you at least learned a little bit about the US of A. If you're a US citizen and 18 years of age or older, make sure you're registered to vote. We have a major election coming up in a few months, so get on top of that. If you're not sure if you're registered or how to register, visit vote.org and they'll help you out. We'll be back next week with 30 more trivia questions. Here's your clue for the topic. What show was the first Star Trek series to win an Emmy Award? One more time to the final frontier. This has been the Dorky, Geeky, Nerdy Trivia Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Rollins. Thanks for listening, and keep pursuing that happiness. Tis the season to be podcasting. Stay inside with a warm beverage and a hot microphone. If you're interested, Spotify can help you out. They've got a platform that lets you make one, distribute it, and earn money all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. So you've already got the equipment necessary to start recording today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify, Apple, Google, and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&A and polls are an excellent way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. Best of all, it's completely free. I switched Dorky, Geeky, Nerdy over to Spotify for Podcasters, and I haven't regretted it. The analytics are fantastic, and the new tools for hosting and updating the feed are way more than I could do self-hosting. Now, it's your turn. Head to podcasters.spotify.com and read all about it. Then let me know what you're podcasting all about. Long before the Summer of Love, pride parades down Market Street, and the fight for marriage equality, San Francisco in 1953 was all about the Red Scare, FBI investigations, yellow journalism run amok, and the ladies who play mahjong over tea. In The Unexpected Heiress, private detective Nick Williams is called in to see his lawyer and friend Jeffrey Klein, whose mystery client, under contract to Metro, was just arrested at the Kit Kat Club on Polk Street, but somehow got off with a bench warrant. Jeffrey wants to know who in the police department worked things behind the scenes for the star of the upcoming blockbuster, It Was Raining Then. Meanwhile, a late-night phone call from his estranged father sends Nick into a tailspin, and a family secret, along with a lot of other things better kept hush-hush, are all splashed on the front pages of the Daily News. It ain't pretty. In the end, for Nick and his lover, a strapping firefighter named Carter Jones, it's actually the beginning of a whole new way of doing business. The Unexpected Heiress by Frank W. Butterfield is book 1 in the Nick and Carter series and is available now on Audible and iTunes.